imagined they would shame him. This seemed stupid to Arthur, whose father rolled out of the way of the challenger's claws at the very last moment. The males of their number in their prime were not present. Ranging as far and wide as they did, and as weak as the Sentio was, they would never have been alerted in time to come to their alpha's aid. There were only 2 elder males among them, who were ancient and nearly toothless, and, if their daily complaints were anything to go by, would welcome their release to Valhalla. The females formed a closed rank on the edge of the circle to protect their young. Arthur, his brother, and one of their sleuth mates, little Charlotte, were concealed as best as could be in their human skins. The few children who could change were not allowed to do so. Even if they were of an age to shift on their own, a child's essential self, their bear shape, could be held back by their mum. It was a gift from the goddess, a way to keep the young safe. Safety in the sleuth had been on a razor's edge since Arthur's mum's death and his father's decline. Papa refused to mate again, refused to dishonour his Vera Amoris by taking up with any of the willing females. He vowed to fuel the Sentio with the memory of their fierce love, but his grief was more powerful than his resolve and greater than his once great strength. Day by day, the connection between every member of the sleuth weakened in concert with their alpha's vigour. The combatants dropped down onto their fours. When a bear bunched on his back feet and pushed, it lent even more force to his shoulder to help him strike down his foe. He could then use his front claws to rake at the soft underbelly and position his fangs for the killing strike. Each bear sought to use the strength of the other against his adversary, looking for an opening, a weakness, a drop in the defence. And it came. His father stumbled. Arthur could see the exhaustion in his eyes, even after so short an engagement. He fell on his belly, and was too slow, too slow. The usurper opened his jaws, clamped his teeth on the back of Papa's neck, and shook and bit and clawed. The sound of the crack of bone, the snap of neck reverberated throughout the grove. Arthur heard Charlotte's gasp and Ben's whimper, and he grabbed them by the arm and pulled them away from the edge of the circle, as the usurper rose on his back legs and roared, demanding obeisance, demanding honour be shown to him for his triumph. It was a hollow victory. In the instant of killing the Alpha, Holbjorn might command the sleuth through brute force, but he did not command its essence. The Sentio snuffed out like a candle in the wind. Unable to challenge in turn, but refusing to expose their necks to the usurper, the sleuth scattered, the 4 paths leading out of the circle dividing their escape. The females grabbed the youngest by the scruffs of their necks. Older children were chivied onto the backs of the adults to hold on for their lives as they fled into the night. The usurper thrashed about on his hind legs, roaring with rage. Charlotte clung to Ben, both pale and frightened and weeping. Arthur hid his face in the fur of the female on whose back he rode. In the myths of every species, the alpha child of a wronged father swore revenge and wreaked it at the appropriate time to take his rightful place. Arthur made an entirely different vow. 1. Wolves, so bloody dramatic. Arthur Humphries, Duke of Osborn, leaned against a silk-covered wall in the Viscount Montague's ballroom. He was present under extreme duress, thanks to a strongly worded missive from his cousin, and now the evening wanted only this, an eruption of romance from Alfred, Duke of Lowell. Rumours had reached even him in his ambulatory rustication of his Grace's abduction of the Honourable Felicity Templeton. Those who knew that Lowell was a Versipellis, a shapeshifter, realised the Duke had finally found his fated mate, and reeled with the news she was Homo plenus, a human. The majority of society were appalled that the peer had run off with an utter nobody, rather than snatching up a diamond of the first water, or, at the very least, a female of better breeding than Baron Templeton's only offspring. When he heard of the scandal surrounding the freshly dubbed Fallen Felicity, Arthur had dismissed it as fourth-hand tittle-tattle with no truth in it. On the contrary, it appeared to be much ado about something,